This video is to inform you of the rewards the school is offering for your hard work as you prepare for your end-of-course exam. If you pass your STAR test in your subject, you will receive an addition of 10 points added to your summative point total for the last 9 weeks. And I'll explain and show you how this works in a little bit. If you are able to achieve meets, not only will you get the 10 points added to your summative total, but you will also have the choice to waive one of your summative tests that's not a project or an alternative assessment. This also includes the option to waive the final summative test so that you don't have to take that test on your final test day in your class. If you are able to achieve masters, you will get the 10 points added to your summative total, just like if you got approaches and meets. And you will also be given a 100 on one of your summative tests, again, excluding projects or other alternative assessments, for the fourth 9 weeks. This can also include your test on your final day. You can just choose to use your 100 there, or you can use it on one of your other assessments that 9 weeks. Here's a chart showing you how the rewards progress as you do better on the test. So approaches, 10 points added. Meets, you get to waive or basically drop your test grade for the fourth 9 weeks along with the extra 10 points. And then masters, you're given 100 on one of your test grades for the fourth 9 weeks along with the 10 points. So let's see how this would actually affect your grade. Let's do some examples. So the first student gets approaches on their STAR test. So here's a sample of what your test grades may look like in your class and what your average, your summative average would be for the fourth 9 weeks. So if you were to just get approaches on your STAR test, you'll have the 10 points added to your summative total, which would increase your grade by an extra 2.5 points or so. And of course, it's going to be different for everyone depending on what your test grades are going, what your test grades were for the fourth 9 weeks. This is just an example. If you're able to get meets, you have the extra 10 points added, but now one of your test grades, your lowest test grade, is going to be waived. So that first test where the approaches student got a 60 on it and it still counted for their fourth 9 weeks grade, that would not count for the student who is able to get meets. So then adding up the 10 points plus their other test scores and dividing it by the number of tests they took, and you can see that their average has gone up almost 7 points for the 9 weeks. And again, this is just a certain example. Based on these test scores, it's going to be a little bit different for everyone. But the better you do, the higher your grade's going to raise. Next, let's look at masters. If you're able to achieve masters, again, that 70 could be increased by 10 to 15 points depending on your grades as the 10 points were added. And you can see that their lowest test grade, the 60, now has become a 100. And then averaging it out, you can see how it changes the grade. So some questions that have been asked. 1, do I have to take my last test if I meet or masters my EOC exam? So that's going to depend on what it is that your teacher is assigning. So if your teacher assigns a project or an essay, then you will not be able to skip doing that. But you will still be able to use the incentive on some other test that you took during the fourth 9 weeks. If your teacher's offering a multiple choice test for your final, then you will have the option to not have to take it and get the reward based on whatever level you reached. Do you have to be at school if you're waiving the exam or if you're getting the 100 on the final day, on your final exam? Your absence will count against you if you do not show up to school. So just like any other class, if you don't come that day, then you're counted absent. But you will still get the reward of a 100 for masters or having it waived if you get meets. So, the better that you do on your STAR test, the better your 9 weeks average is going to be. This is a huge opportunity for each and every one of you. So give it your best, and let's get to work.